everyone, I'm Kendria. I need you to go like, follow, and subscribe Soul Productions.
What's up, everyone? And this is Next Level Thinking.
What's up, everyone? This is another episode of Next Level Thinking. It's your host, Chris Holmes, as always, bringing you inspirational guests. And today I have a special guest by the name of
Caroline Renee.
Awesome. So tell the audience a little bit about yourself so they can know why I brought you on, because I'm pretty sure they're like, who's this?
So I'm a content creator based in Houston, Texas, and I mostly focus on content revolving around beauty, travel, and lifestyle. And most of my content features traveling. A lot of it's in Turkey, and I just want to share a little bit more about that with you guys today.
Awesome. So what was the origin story of everything? How did you get started into this? So we got a quick spill, but how did this all come about?
Okay, so I grew up in Istanbul, Turkey, and that's one of the textile capitals of the world. If you look at a lot of your clothes, you'll find that they were made in Turkey. A lot of rugs that you'll see were made in Turkey, and it was originally part of the Silk Road. So I think that's what really inspired my love for textiles in general. There's some amazing materials there. And then my love for photography sort of developed in college when I majored in visual journalism. And through that, I've sort of used both to tell a little bit of my story, but also engage with others who have similar interests.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, because when you have a camera in hand, you are capturing people's memories. You are building your stories. You have to create a masterpiece right in your hand so you can do so many different things.
Yeah. I love that the people that I engage with are people who are interested in the same things. And it's really been cool to see how that community's grown and how we can encourage each other and inspire each other to do more and to follow our passions.
Yes, and that is the biggest thing, is to do what you love to do. Especially now with the internet, you can use your imagination and much more and create in your own kind of field and things like that. So you said you doing journalism much more in college. So what was the kind of things that you were involved in or did, or photography styles you did while in college?
So in college, I did a lot of photojournalism. And I feel like that is a great background for anyone who wants to do any kind of photography, because you have to learn how to capture the images as they are. You can't rely so much on the editing. Everything has to be pretty much what it looks like there. So you learn the tricks and the tools to capture what you're seeing. And I think from there, it makes it an easier transition into photography, because when you want to create something, you know what things you need to alter or change to make that image look how you want it to look.
Yes, and of course you have all the different software. And by the way, I'm a photographer as well, so I know exactly what you're talking about. So Lightroom, Adobe Photoshop, and all these other different things. And you also have apps, apps all over the phone, which you can use to kind of throw your little jazz and much more, and it makes it convenient at the same time. So you can make amazing graphics, and they be like, oh, that must have took a lot of time. Oh yeah. And you're it just took me 5 minutes. But yeah, I was gonna go with that. Cool. So with that, what is your why while you're pursuing with all this in your creative content? What keeps you going?
Right. So why I originally started sharing this online, I've always enjoyed creating content for others, for magazines, for publications, for brands. But the reason that I started sharing on Instagram initially was I went through a period where I was really depressed. And one thing that helped me actually was finding people on YouTube and social media that were sharing their lives and sharing the real stuff. When they were going through hard times, they're I've been through these things. I was no way, I'm not the only one. And so I think my original inspiration to share with others was to be we all have hard things in our lives. But that's the one thing that we're all going to relate on.
Exactly, and I completely agree to that, because it's just like any other kind of art, from photography, video, music, and much more. What makes us really in tune to the art is so relatable. or like whatever you're going through in life. And so like with you, you know, putting it out there, you felt like, oh, I'm not alone in this. There's other people who have fought this battle, but it also encouraged you as well. You have anything to say after that?
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. So like, what's some of your future projects coming up that you have in mind? Because I know.
Yeah, I mean, I really just want to encourage anyone listening today.
Can you say it again? I think you went in and out.
I think I might have lost.
Hold on. Hold on, let's give it a second. I'm trying to wait for it to kick back in. Try speaking now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. All right, continue where you're going off. I'll try to give it time. So go ahead with your answer.
Oh, I just want to encourage if anyone else is listening out there today and you're feeling like maybe you're not where you want to be at, or maybe you're going through a period of like depression or anxiety or anything, just to know like you're not alone. Many of us go through those things, and I think depression is actually past heart disease is not one sickness in the world next year. So it's something that in all likelihood someone else around you is experiencing. It doesn't forever either. It's something that like I just want to encourage you to continue doing the things that you love and continue pursuing your passions, because how you feel right will not be how you feel forever.
Great answers. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to give it time to kick back in. Can you still hear me pretty good? Hello?
Hey.
Hold on, I'm trying to. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, cool. Just wanted to make sure. So yeah, that is definitely really big, especially nowadays. I feel like mental health has gained a lot of awareness, and we need to pretty much motivate and encourage that, you know, you can overcome, because we all go through like tough times and things like that, but this is not the end. And through us being creatives and much more, we showing other people that we are just like you. We go through our struggles, we have our downtimes and things like that, but we all are fighters. So it's great that we can use our creativity and much more to motivate people to, you know, step over that. And the funny thing is, when you start doing that, you encourage so many other people. It's like a domino effect. So this person gets encouraged, this person gets encouraged, this person gets encouraged, and this keeps on and that much more.
Yeah, exactly. Totally agree.
Yes. So like, what is like your favorite style of photography to do?
I love to shoot. If I'm the one shooting, I love to shoot portraits.
Okay.
Those, that's like my favorite. I really like environmental portraits.
Oh.
So capturing people in their environment. But I also think when I'm in the photos, I really like brand work. I think it's so much fun. Just finding ways to highlight whatever that product is, and ways to really share like my love for the things that I'm sharing about.
Exactly, and then you pretty much create your own brand, which I know you know so much about, and that's what it's all about. Is, you know, putting out your vision and ideas and creating that vision and brand of yourself, which impacts other people as well.
Yeah, exactly. Is that an Aggie ring?
Aggie ring? That is like one of the most common questions and probably answers responses that I get. But no, it's actually Sam Houston. Yep. So not that far off. So like they did their ring ceremonies not too long ago and started that. So like now you see Sam Houston Bearcats starting to have their rings. But I do know Aggies have their rings, so I'll take that as a compliment. But wait a minute, is there a ring?
Just noticed it as you were speaking. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Cool. So like, what are some like tips that you would give other photographers that are starting out? Because I've had my tips I want to give, but let's say give like top 3 tips that you would give a beginning photographer to start them out? Because, sometimes they're all nervous, like, am I ready for this? And things like that.
Well, I definitely think that the way that you learn is by shooting. So you definitely want to go out there and shoot as much as possible. I think one thing that really shows when you're beginning is you have to take so many more photos to get a good one. And then as you progress, you can shoot a lot less and get the result that you're looking for. I also think don't be afraid to get like critique on your work. That was one of the things that's helped me the most, is when I've shown photographers who've been in the industry much longer than I have my work, and then seeing their, it's been so helpful. And it hurts a little at first because you're like, oh, that was good, and sort of.
And what was your third one? You going in and out. What was your last one?
Oh, I think, I said, don't be afraid to get critique, get out there and shoot. Mm-hmm. And I think my third tip would be really, don't focus too much on what everyone else is shooting. I think that sometimes it's easy on social media to just see a lot of replicas of the same thing, but don't be afraid to shoot something else that you think is interesting and try new things. And you might not see a lot of feedback on that initially, but I think it's really important to developing your own style and brand.
I think the results of doing that is so much larger, because even though it may start pretty slow, you're creating your brand, your trend. So it may start pretty slow, but once things keep picking up, I'm like, so who started that? And you're like, me. And that's when all the other traffic comes all the way back around, like, oh, you're the person who started that. So It is good to be a trendsetter and put things up and things like that. So always be yourself in your own kind of art, photography, and much more, because that's all what it's all about.
Yeah, exactly.
Great. So let's see. Hit on a lot of great things. What is one thing? What was one of your biggest challenges when you picked up your camera? And some people will say like, oh, it's the angles. Some people may say lighting. Some people will say like actual interaction with people because they're introverts. Yeah. So like, what was yours?
I think actually when I started out with the photojournals, it was the people interaction, because so much of it you're not shooting people who are trying to photo, you're shooting people who are in the environment naturally, and you have to get their contact information for captions, and that can be so intimidating at first, walking up to people, because you really just need some basic contact information, but people are scared that, naturally they're like, why do you need a contact number for me? Or like, why do you need my last name? And you're like, I just to publish this photo, you're in a public place. But I think the more that you do that, the more you get used to it. You're like, okay, this isn't so bad after all.
Yeah. And then after you get over that hurdle, it becomes just so much easier, just like everything else. Of course, in the beginning, it's going to be super hard. But once you start doing like, oh, it wasn't that hard. It was just all in my head.
Yes, exactly. You're like, oh, this is not that bad.
Great. So we're going to go ahead and close this up. So leave the audience with closing remarks, and where can they find you so we can keep up with all your journeys and great art to skill much more.
Okay, yeah, so I hope today, I hope that whoever's listening, you definitely are encouraged to go out there and shoot. To not be afraid to pursue photography and to not be intimidated by it. I think probably the best way to contact me is at my website. So that's www.carolinerenee.com, or blah, 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 like the song. But yeah.
Awesome. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. It's your host, Chris Holmes, as always, bringing inspirational guests. And today I have my special guest by the name of
Caroline Renee.
Awesome. Make sure that you subscribe, like for Facebook and much more, because we're going to put on, of course, Facebook, YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, and keep the motivation going. So always remember, live your best life and take it to the next level. Peace and much love.